Hello, everybody, and welcome to AWS On Air. We are coming to you live for Remars, which is an amazing event talking about all great things that are ML and AI related. I am your host. I am one of your hosts today, Kyle Lee, and I am joined here with Marie. Marie, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. I'm happy to be here. There's some exciting stuff happening, and so happy that Remars is back in person and we get to do this all together. I'm really excited to learn about Amazon CloudWatch metrics insights today, and we have Praneeth here, who's going to tell us a little bit more and give us a live demo. So, Praneeth, can you tell us a little bit about what we're going to learn today?
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me today. I'm Praneeth, a senior solutions architect at AWS, and I'm joining you all from Northern Virginia.
Awesome.
I'm here to tell you about CloudWatch Metric Insights.
CloudWatch metric insights. Okay, so that's like a bunch of words that I don't even understand. Could you tell me a little bit about like what that actually means?
Yeah. To begin with, metrics. It's like a data point that tells you the performance of your system. And that's where CloudWatch Metric Insights is a powerful, high performance SQL query engine that you can use to query your metrics at scale. And why do I say scale? It's like, you would be having, if you are in an organization and you'd be having enormous amounts of metrics that are coming from your resources. So metric insights kind of enables your developers, operators, systems engineers, and your cloud solutions architects to identify the trends and patterns across millions of operational metrics in real time and helps you use these insights to reduce the time to resolutions when you get into any issues.
So tell me, is metrics kind of similar to like being able to take data points, like let's say somebody clicks on a button in their app, right? I'm a mobile developer, so they click on a button in their app, and then that is kind of like a metric, and then you can also have all kinds of metrics around your app and have those like sent somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. Those are considered a metric when you click on a website, how many clicks or how many users are logging into your website. These are all a collection of data points that you can streamline and form a metric. To begin, when you have a resource pinned up in your AWS account, like an EC2 instance or an RDS, it's pretty easy. We provide to the customers default metrics for customers to get started. On the metrics can be a CPU utilization of your EC2 instance, or what's the network traffic that's coming into your RDS instance. So these are like a basic metrics.
Ah, got it. So not only is it just in the website or the application, but like you can actually get metrics from the resources under that the underlying resources that are like actually performing different tasks then.
Exactly.
Got it. Got it.
That's
Okay.
awesome. And so I think I'm sold. So say I'm a customer, what are some of the steps that I need to take to use or onboard with Metrics Insights?
Yeah, with metric insights, you have two types. One is through CloudWatch console. You can onboard into your metric insights, or you can use the AWS CLI or the AWS SDK versions with the APIs like get metric data. But today, for I will be doing a demo through CloudWatch console where you can choose a wide variety of pre-built sample queries to get started, and then from there I will be showing you how a builder view that interacts you visually and interactively prompts you how you can browse through your existing metrics on your AWS account and build your metric insight query and see how you can derive a pattern or insights across metrics from in your AWS platform.
Got it. Okay, so you said the key word to me, which is demo, because
Hmm.
I'm a very visual person. Like we could talk about something all day, but like I don't really fully understand it until we get into a demo. So let's go ahead and get into this. So I see you're at the AWS the management console right now. Okay,
Hmm.
so like I just logged into my AWS account. What am I
Yeah.
what do I do?
So CloudWatch Metric Insights, as the name says, it's under the CloudWatch service.
Mhm.
So uh, enter CloudWatch service on your search page
And hit
in
the
your
little star next to
exactly.
it.
uh, Going into the CloudWatch console, uh, on the left main, you will see metrics and the subservices under it. So let's click on all metrics. And as you can see, these are all the namespaces that I have. When I say namespaces, it's like it could be a service, it could be a custom, thing that I'm pushing. Like you mentioned, web application or a mobile application. I could just send all the metrics related to that particular application into a namespace. It's more like a container or a box where you push your metrics into it.
Got it.
These
So
are
you already have several projects, right? So then what you did was you created these custom namespaces to identify each of the individual projects, and then I see these names. So I see one that says CW agent, and then it has like a 7 next to it. So like what does that mean? Like so that's my namespace, and then there's like what, seven events that it's tracking, or 7 metrics, or what's going on here?
yeah. So on this account, I have a project running in for this demo. It's a pet site application where you can adapt a pet. It could be a puppy or a kitten. And these are all the metrics that I have. What are the services that I'm using from my application? I have Lambdas, I have DynamoDB as a database tier. And talking about CloudWatch agent, it's one of our agent that we provide to our customers for CloudWatch service, which allows you to install it on your EC2 instances and push custom metrics like what's running inside your application or on your operating systems. For example, the memory utilization of your instance. That's something that we push customly, and that's what the CloudWatch agent namespace is about.
Got
And
it. Yeah. Go ahead,
And
Marie.
I see that you have, I think if it's over 1,500 metrics lined up there. How many metrics can a metrics insight query process in one given time?
Metric insights can process about 10,000 metrics in a given time, and that's a limitation. We are trying to get it even more, but 10,000 metrics is the uh, amount of metrics that you can query through metric insights. Why don't I can show you how we can get started with the sample query and then see how we can get more insights through metric insights.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Yep. So on the CloudWatch console, I clicked on all metrics, and then the query tab here is about what metric insights feature is about. To get started, we provide you pre-built queries on a set of AWS services. As you see, you have DynamoDB, EC2, ECS, application load balancer, and then what you see here is a query builder view, which also is like a prompt visual way of selecting. But for someone to get started with metric insights, I would say why don't you start with a simple pre-built query. I'm selecting total request across all my load balances as a query. And as you see, the query just got popped up and you have a metric. You
You
only
know,
see one.
could you actually bump it up? I'm having a little bit of a hard time seeing kind of all the information. So if you could like do like a command plus, or yeah, zoom in just a little bit. There we go. That looks a lot better for me. Thank you.
So you're seeing all the total request count across load balancers from the query that I've selected. Using a builder view, you can group by through load balancers. And when you hit the run query, now, with a single click of a button, now you can see the metrics across your load balances with the request count as the metric name. So what it is doing here is it is aggregating the data and grouping it by the load balancers and showing you easily and insights on what is the load balancer that is taking the most number of requests of your applications.
Got it. So what we're looking at right here is on this graph is I can see a total of 5 different apps, and I'm
Mhm,
looking at specifically load balancers because that's what you did in the query, right? And now I can see which apps are using the most resources and when,
mhm.
uh, for each of these apps individually, which is pretty cool because now if I have several apps, I could compare them to one another then.
Exactly. Yep. So customers usually have, and they tend to get into environments mechanisms like you'd be having production, development, and testing environments. That's where metric insights gives you that the features of how you could see and differentiate what's happening in your production environment versus your test environment all at one place. That's the extra flexibility that Metric Insights is giving you.
Got it. And across this X axis, we're looking at timestamps of, is this just today or where, what date is this? Oh, the last
We
3 hours of today.
Right,
Okay.
we are looking at last 3 hours, and that's another point. That's a good point that you brought up. Metric Insights can look into the past 3 hours of data. If I click
Whoa.
on the 12 hours, you won't be able to see it, and it only gives you the past 3 hours of data. That's kind of a limitation right now, and we are trying to improve it even more.
The past how long?
Uh, as of now, it's 3 hours, but we
Okay,
try to.
got it.
I mean, we will be increasing it even more in the
Got
coming
it.
future.
So if I wanted to see what's been going on earlier today and I wanted to see if has there been an influx of traffic, maybe I just launched my new marketing campaign for my
Mhm.
app, right? And I want to see like, okay, since lunch, what has gone down? And I can take a look, oh, was there a spike after the post went live? Or did we kind of are we seeing the same average that we have? Like, so I guess I can see like, okay, now, X event might have happened. I could take a look at my metrics and I can actually see that there was a spike in traffic or there was a spike in the resources that were used after a specific time.
Uh, I think that was too long. I quite did get the question.
Oh, no, 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 no. I was just kind of breaking it down the way that
Oh,
I understood it. So like let's say like if I'm understanding it correctly, if I had posted something at lunch let's say I'm looking at my metrics, right? And I have an app and I'm promoting my app on social media and I release the post and that was just like a couple hours ago. Now I could take a look at my metrics and I can see, hey, was there an influx of traffic after I released this post on my application on my website or on my app? And I can actually see that right here by looking at the metrics by doing a query just like this.
yeah, yeah. It's not just looking at the use case that you have mentioned. Let's say if there's something uh, wrong with one of your production EC2 instance or production resource when at the given time when you're launching your app. Even at those incidents, you would be using metric insights to reduce the time to resolution or identify what's going wrong with with your resources. If something is broken, then you won't be seeing metrics, or you would be seeing a high utilized metric on it. And that's how metric insights allows you to reduce your time to resolutions for your DevOps team.
Got it. Got it. Okay. I like that.
Yeah. And as I was talking about the builder view and then the editor view, so we are in the builder view, and the editor view is comes in pretty handy when you want to change. And let's say if I want to look for any other metric or add any other dimension over here, that's where you can edit a pre-built query, or you can build your query from the scratch through using editor views.
Got it. And this is just like your typical SQL query then.
Exactly. Yep.
Got it.
Yeah, so let's explore one other query, and I'll show you another functionality that's pretty catchy with Metric Insights. Over here, to remove a query, all you need to do is go to the builder view, hit the X mark. It will get you off from the query. And now, when you select a different service EBS, let's see top EBS volumes by bytes written, and you have three volumes, which is giving you the number of bytes, and the number is pretty high. And often you would like to see this in either megabytes or gigabytes, but
Mhm.
getting in a bytes view, a high number, it's not naturally that everyone would be preferring it. That's where with metric insights, you can also use in add a math expression on top of it. So I'm clicking on add a math and start with a pretty simple empty expression where I would use the query ID and then add a math expression that I'm just simply dividing it by 1024 so that it gives me the values in megabytes instead of giving me the value in bytes.
Yeah, 1024, pretty important byte value, right?
Yeah. So you can do that customizations as well from the queries that I mean, from the metrics that you get in from the metric insights.
Got it. Okay. So then you could even change the way that you're actually looking at this data so that it makes more sense. Obviously you don't necessarily need to see bytes, but you want to see megabytes, or if it's really large amounts, then maybe even gigabytes, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And one other last thing that I want to demo in today is how easy it is to use Builder View for
Hmm.
something. Let's say, as I said, I have a pet site application here which is using Kubernetes, uh, one of the AWS service, but I don't see Kubernetes over here to get started. But
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about it. Still, you have the Builder View experience where you can select the namespace where your metrics are. Over here, I have my Kubernetes metrics and container insights, and from here I can select the schema. Schema is kind of, if you're in the database, how a schema represents your columns within the database, it's the same thing. The dimensions available for these metrics are represented. Let's select the schema, and I'm looking for CPU utilizations of my EKS cluster, so let's select that metric and group it by pod name. So this is more showing you on how the builder view is giving you or prompting you with available options for you to select and
Hmm.
create a SQL query out of it. And I would like to order the count based on descending order. And then if I click on the run, I have my metrics popping up.
So Praneeth, if I wanted to get fancy,
Mhm.
how many more metrics could I add to a query like this?
You can add up to, you know, uh, 10,000 metrics. So what I mean here is you can form a SQL query that can grab 10,000 metrics that are available. As I showed you, I only have 1,500 metrics
Hmm.
on my account. So, I could write a query to get all the 1,517 metrics from here, but it doesn't really give me any insights because what would I do if I just get all 1,500? There should be a use case on what I'm trying to define here, but you can get as fancy as you can go, and that's where the editor view experience gives you, where you can write your own queries.
Awesome. So Builder View allows you to do a lot of different things, which is, you can search by the different resources that your project might be using. But if one of those resources aren't immediately available, you can use a namespace that allows you to grab those metrics still, and then you can always use the editor to create your own SQL queries to get metrics as you see fit, which is
Yep.
really cool.
And
And
on top
anything
of
else,
it,
Praneeth?
yeah, on top of it, customers don't have to pay anything if they're using the console view of playing around with metric insights. It's an added benefit that you get when you have your metrics pushed to AWS CloudWatch.
Got it. And who can take advantage of this? So like is it available to everybody right now?
Yeah, it is available to everybody. All you need is, when you have an AWS account and you provision a resource, by default, AWS gives you a set of metrics, and you don't have to pay for those default metrics. If you have them, you are free to use metric insights. It went GA, globally available, very recently, and feel free to get into your AWS account and use and try it out, metric insights.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Praneeth, for explaining how metric insights work using CloudWatch. Really cool service. Really look forward to checking out how my apps are performing now since it's like automatically working. I just have to go to the AWS console, hit CloudWatch, go to metrics, and check them out right there. But yeah, thank you so much, Praneeth, for joining us here on AWS On Air. And we look forward to seeing you back on here because, as usual, we're not going to stop here, right? Metrics is only going to get better, right?
Right, right,
Glad to
100%.
hear that. All right. Well, we look forward to seeing you back on here. Thanks again for joining us here on AWS On Air. Thank you to Marie for joining me here as a host. And
Yes.
thank you all viewers for joining us here on Remars. Stay tuned. We have way more sessions after this.